I grew up in New Jersey, not far from Newark, which was a real melting pot. So it was natural that I would rub elbows with kids growing up in school of many different cultures. And I played football with kids of different cultures. I have a twin brother and we were called the Reverend Brothers on our team because we were two of only maybe 5 white kids on the team, and when they learned my dad was a minister, that was the moniker they gave to us. So it was kind of an interesting experience being the minority on the team. I grew up in a household where I had a minister for a dad and a school teacher for a mom. And my dad was the minister of a predominantly white church in New Jersey, but he was very much, both of them were very much social activists, if you will. They put a high priority on exposure and interaction with folks from different colors, cultures, classes, etc. And they saw a lot of social injustice in the world and taught me and my siblings about that. And my dad even got to march with Martin Luther King Jr. in DC in the mid-60s. And there were quite a few of his parishioners that were not real pleased about that. But he thought he made it a priority to be on the front lines that way. So he taught his kids that was important. When I went off to college and then medical school and then served in the military, the Air Force made it plain from the outset that the mission came first. As long as you were serving the mission and you were a team and you got along. So I know of a number of folks who had issue with folks of other gender or race that received significant counseling and even disciplinary action in the military for that problem. And so it was kind of understood, not only a written but unwritten rule, that you got along to get the mission done. So that was a benefit to be a part of that kind of organization. Change is difficult. Change is not comfortable. And if somebody were having difficulty crossing a racial line or making it an intention to get to know someone of another race or another class, I would probably just encourage them that, yes, it is risky. You become vulnerable by almost exposing your own preconceptions, your own assumptions, but it's worth taking the risk to get to know that person. Most people who know me know I'm not terribly shy. I don't think I've ever met a stranger, and worth taking the risk, at least introducing myself. But by the same token, I think I've put my foot in my mouth many times. But it's easier sometimes to ask forgiveness or to, try to at least ask where there's been a misunderstanding and try to at least listen to where they're coming from. I think it's important to be not just intentional about crossing the barriers of culture and class, but also take action on those intentions. You need to pick up the phone or make it a priority to start that relationship. And sometimes it does take, like I said, in risk, sharing your own experience and admitting some of your own preconceptions, some of your own prejudice, if you will, to understand where someone else is coming from. It takes listening carefully, and I think it just takes time to develop those relationships. Intentionality, my parents often used 2 phrases when I was growing up. 1, be intentional, and 2 was make it happen. It's one thing to have intentions of doing something, it's another to act on it. So I think I would just encourage everybody to make it a priority. That goes for me as well. I'm Bruce McFall, and now you know a little bit more about me.